All right, good morning, everyone. Today is Thursday, February 1st, 2024. It's 9 a.m. We're here for a special session of the Hunt County Commissioners Court. This time I'll call the meeting to order. We have Commissioner Hutchins, Monroe, Martin, and Harrison present. I'm Judge Stovall presiding over the meeting. At this time, we'll have public testimony. Speakers are limited to 3 minutes and should conduct themselves in a civil manner. The Commissioners Court cannot take action on items not listed on the agenda in accordance with the Texas Open Meetings Act. Concerns will be addressed by county staff that may be placed on a future agenda or addressed by some other course of response. Is there anyone here wish to speak to the court today? Is anybody online? No. Being none, we'll move on to new business. I'm going to skip the consent calendar now and go to action items. Number one, approve order granting the discretionary exemption to the competitive bidding requirements of Section 262 of the Texas Local Government Code for items purchased for the construction of the P25 public radio system. Daniel?
All right. In front of you the document that says order number at the top. It's been a long time since Hunt County did this particular thing, so I'm just going to go through real quick the process here. Normally, the Purchasing Act would require the purchases that we're talking about here, which are for the radio system, two different things, the shelters for the bottom of the tower and the generators for the bottom to go in those shelters. Those are of a amount and type that normally they would have to go through the Purchasing Act requirements, require bids to go out. There's two general exceptions to that apply here. One is what we're doing today, which is an order applying a exemption, and the exemption that applies here is the need for these items because of public safety. The other one is the one that we've used quite a bit, which is everything that's on the state list. Two different lists with the state where we can piggyback on other people's contracts. In fact, we've done that pretty extensively with this same program. What we've got in front of us right now is a situation where there are some of these things on the state list, but they actually cost more than what we're doing here. The generators on the state list, number one, cost more, and number two, have a drastically longer time period for delivery, 7 or 8 times as long. And so in order for the county to purchase something and not go through the normal bidding process, and because this is something that's not on the state list, there's only a very few things that the county can apply to make that legal. And because this is not an emergency, because there's hadn't been a tornado or anything like that, one of the only other ones that applies is what's in front of you under 262.024 of the local government code. That only applies if the court approves and signs the order that's in front of you. And so the order has 5 different whereases as part of the preamble. The fourth one down describes what we're talking about here, which is the purchase of all-weather concrete radio equipment shelters, and then the backup generators. If you approve this, basically what you're doing is saying, yes, that is a public safety necessity, public health and safety necessity, and because of that, we are approving the exemption to the regular purchasing requirements. The effect of this would be, if you approve this, then you can go ahead and purchase those without going through the normal bidding process.
Okay, Commissioners, what he was talking about on the cost differential, I think the two of the on the buy board were over $170,000 for them, and with a longer, like he said, a longer time delay. Another one was not much higher than this, like $10,000 higher, but we couldn't get them for a year, and we can't wait a year. I mean, we're hoping to be up, and of course, to me, it's not only a public safety issue because of we haven't had a tornado or something's been damaged. Our county's not being covered by radio coverage to assist in our emergency responses, and I think that's the bigger emergency is to get that radio tower up and get them up and get this operating to protect the public and to protect our law enforcement, and I guess even our firefighters use it at some point in time to communicate. So, any questions, Commissioners?
Just to clarify,
We've already spent the money for this radio system. We don't need a 14-month delay waiting on generators.
Right.
To be able
It'll just add more cost to it.
Exactly. Yeah, I don't think we have a choice here.
and just to clarify, Judge, I was hearing that they're less expensive, in addition to the delay time, they're also less expensive and higher quality?
These are the same quality. One of them that's at a higher price is the same company, just a different division.
Okay,
One's classified one thing, one's classified the other. The one that's the cheaper one is not on the buy board. The other one's on the buy board, but they got a year delivery on it.
gotcha. And
So it'd basically be the same thing, and these are gonna be, Cummins generator, which is a well-known diesel brand. Man, a matter of fact, I used to be the top of the line. Cummins diesels were, I don't know if they still are as highly rated, but they've always been a good product.
Cumming is good, and I think we need to move forward on this.
But yes, it is cheaper as well.
And it's cheaper. This is cheaper by far than any of the others.
Basically, same product, cheaper, and we're getting it
Quicker,
faster.
yeah,
Yes, that's correct.
Kind of no-brainer.
yeah. Well, I entertain a motion for approval.
So move.
Second.
Got a motion second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries. We're going to go back to the consent calendar. Entertain a motion for approval of the consent calendar.
So move.
Second?
Got a motion second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries. We don't have to deal with number 2, correct?
That's correct.
Number 3, resolution approving applications for rural law enforcement grant pursuant to Senate Bill 22. Daniel?
This is a grant that we talked about in court before. I think between the court and the 2 prosecutors' offices, there's been applications for, I believe, $1 million total. There's been some chatter on the listserv over the past couple of weeks about whether this resolution approving the application is necessary. There's not a clear answer on that, and there's a lot of disagreement going back and forth. So since there's no problem doing it, and we could be preventing a problem, I believe that we do need to approve this, just to prevent anything, questions from coming up later about whether we had authority to actually apply for the grant.
Commissioners, I think I may have mentioned it last time. I watched a webinar put on by the comptroller who's over this program, and it was a 45-minute presentation, slideshows. I've got all of the details that they emailed to us after the meeting. Nowhere in that meeting and nowhere in that literature did they ever say anything that we had to have a resolution. But I guess it was it was actually late last week, I started seeing them pop up on at least the judge's side. I don't know if it came up on y'all's side of the listserv or not. And people started talking about this resolution. And the last consensus that I saw from Allison was, doesn't hurt to do it. You probably ought to do it just in case. And so that's what we're doing. Just a belt and suspenders, I guess, in case it comes up. It's just giving the authority for us to apply for all those grants. So if anybody got any questions?
It surprises me because I would think that we would need to go through this anyway because we always have, and we're running into a contract that has to be approved by Commissioner's Court. So I think we need to act upon it.
We haven't signed any grant work. We haven't signed anything. We've applied, but we've not received a grant and we've not gotten any money from it. But we did file for it, so. Yeah, I filed for it. I had to file for the sheriff's office and constables, but the constables weren't eligible for anything. And all they were eligible for is a supplement to have them, their pay be $45,000, and they make way more than that.
That's right.
So that was not eligible. And then, for the sheriff, it just required that the county judge apply for it. So I did that last week, with the assistance of Aubrey from the auditor's office. Thank goodness she's there to help us. She's a whiz on those things. So, anyway, Commissioners, I entertain a motion for approval.
So moved.
Second.
Got a motion second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. We don't need anything in executive session today. Is there anything else before the court today? None, I entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second?
Got a motion and a second. All in favor say aye. All opposed? Motion carries. We're adjourned at 9:12.
That's a record, isn't it? Now, the record is 10 minutes. 10?